All right, chicken sausage recipe coming at you. The one I talked about in my grocery haul, and I've probably talked about it a million times. I talk about it all the time because it's so good and so easy. All the ingredients you need, how much you need, and how to cook it, and how I grind my own chicken up. Do not forget to hit subscribe. That really helps me out. Hit like, and then make sure you comment below if you're going to give this chicken recipe a try. And then also let me know if you did enjoy it or any other tips and tricks you have for making stuff homemade to make it healthier. And this is way healthier. I'll let you know exactly why and how it is at the end of the video. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the recipe. All right, I will see you in the video. All right, so everything you need spice-wise is black pepper, crushed red pepper or red pepper flakes, just some good old plain salt, ground sage, fennel seed, and marjoram. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Marjoram, but there you go. You do not need these to be organic. This is just all I can find these in typically. These are from Walmart. This is from Smart & Final, but you can find ground sage in lots of places. They just had a big one and I've had it for a while. Walmart, and Aldi's, but obviously pepper you can find at Walmart too. So everything can be found at Walmart, but this is all you will need for spices. All right, so I'm going to show you what I do. I get all of my spices and measure them out. Oh, geez. Okay, so now that I picked this bad boy up, you need a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon, and yes, mine does have a chunk out of it. I think it got dropped into the, what do you call it, in the sink. Garbage disposal, it turned on. But this is what we're going to use for all the spices, and I will show you exactly what we need in just a second. All right, so that's all the ingredients. So how much do you need? That's important, right? So first, about 2 teaspoons of salt, about 2 teaspoons of the sage, and then everything else is 1 teaspoon. So about 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, about 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and about 1 teaspoon of fennel, and the marjoram. And when I say about 1 teaspoon, I like very spicy. So if you don't want it quite as spicy, I would definitely reduce it to maybe half a teaspoon, 3/4. But you will just have to play around with it and find what you like, and see where those flavors are. I just like a lot, so I put a bunch on. The salt, I do not put any extra. Same with the sage. Those I do keep at the 2 all the time. You don't want it to get way too salty. I do put a little, like, I don't mind if it's like a little heaped on the sage. But yeah, measurements aren't dire, but that's about what you want for the chicken sausage. And let me show you what it all looks like in this bowl, and then I will tell you why I have it in a bowl. All right, so here it all is in the bowl. I'm gonna mix it all together. And this is just so when I grind up the chicken, it's easier to mix it all up evenly, because I sort of cheat, and I'll show you how in just a second. All right, so all the spices are ready to go. Grab your chicken breast. This is probably 3-ish pounds that I'm doing. Obviously, you can do a bigger batch or a smaller batch as necessary, but this does keep amazingly well in the fridge, so there's no reason not to make a bunch so you can have leftovers, because honestly, it tastes better cold. I actually prefer to eat it cold than I do warmed up, unless I'm eating it in an omelet, and then obviously it warms up when I cook it in the omelet. But yeah, so I got about 3-ish pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and let me show you how to get from this to sausage. So once I have half the chicken cut up into just like little cubes, basically, I throw it in the food processor. I sprinkle about half of the seasoning into the food processor. So while I grind up the chicken, it mixes in the spices for me. Which when I first started making this, I didn't think about that and tried to mix it up evenly in the pan when I was cooking it all. And oh, this is so much easier. And you don't need to be exact, just half-ish. So don't stress too much about it. All right, so let's get this chicken grinded up. I think I meant ground up. I'm not sure. Probably ground up, not grinded up, so my bad. All right, there's what it looks like in the food processor, and I do the food processor just with the big blades. I don't use any of the attachments or anything. This is an ancient food processor that I think I got from my mom or my grandma when I first moved out, and this one works better than my new one for chicken sausage. The new one's great for cheese and stuff like that. But this one is really good for the chicken because it really grinds it up, and it's not too picky about how full I fill it, which is really nice. And so what I do is I just grind it until it's the consistency of hamburger. I usually do it on pulse just so I have more control. But yeah, so let's get that done. All right, first batch looks like it turned out good. Let me show you. So now look, it looks like ground chicken and the spices are nice and mixed in. And then we're gonna just transfer it to a pan. Alrighty, it is time for the second half. Really quick, and when I see like this icky stuff, I usually cut it off and throw it away because it makes it like gristly in the sausage. Ugh. All right, so all of the chicken sausage is in the pan, and then you just brown it like ground hamburger. It's really nothing different. I cook it on like medium high because I'm impatient, but you could also form it into like sausage patties, which I have done, and those are good warm. So that would be like if you're planning on eating it right away, and you're like cooking it, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have it for breakfast right now, or lunch or dinner or whatever. So you can form it into like sausage patties, which is really good. But I typically just brown it like hamburger. I cook it just like that because then it's easier for me to measure out right now while I'm on my meal plan. But even when I'm not, I do that because then you can get like individual servings that last quite a while, and it's so much easier than forming it into patties. Patties are like a treat for me, but if that's your thing, totally do it. So let's get this chicken cooked. So like I said, medium high is good, and you can use a lid or you don't have to. It just kind of depends what you feel like doing. If you're doing the patties, use a lid for sure. I don't have the exact time, so you'll just have to try and figure that out. Sorry. Maybe you're wondering why I'm using a pot instead of a skillet. Well, that is because I've noticed a skillet, there's kind of a lot in it, and it gets it really hard to like flip it and grind it up, or break it up, or whatever you want to call it. You have to be really careful not to spill it, so a pot just works way better because then I can just be all haphazard about it and not have to stress about it falling over the edge and wasting some. So yeah, that's why I use a pot. There's no reason. You could use a skillet if you have a big enough skillet. I just don't for this much chicken all at once. And this works. This works for me. Okay, so let me show you. So it is cooking. And this will probably take, I don't know, maybe 10-ish minutes. I'll look at the timer. I've never really looked before, so I'll let you know after we're done. All right, it is almost done. I put a lid on it just so it can hurry it up and get it finished for the last little bit. It has been 10 minutes and it is almost done. So I'd say probably 15 minutes total, plus the prep time, which when you're not recording like I was, really only takes like 5 to 10 minutes. So I guess total time, less than a half an hour. So it's super quick, super easy, sort of. You could buy pre-ground chicken, but that's expensive for when you could just do it yourself for, you know, not super expensive, and it would take an extra like, what, 3 minutes? And I do just use chicken, but I bet you could use pork. I haven't done that, but I'm sure you could, like pork tenderloin or something. I don't know. It would be exactly the same, I guess. But yeah, so we're going to cook it. We're going to let it finish probably just a couple more minutes, and then I will show you the next step. But we are basically done. All right, the last thing I do is I let it drain a little bit so there's not a bunch of like icky chicken juice in the bottom of the Tupperware that I put in the fridge. It just makes it kind of like, doesn't get like that slimy stuff on the bottom when you drain it. So I drain it just for a couple minutes depending how much it needs. And then I let it actually sit in there until it cools off a little bit before I put it in a big Tupperware and throw it in the fridge. I don't want to throw it in the fridge like all like freaking hot. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, so if it's not, please let me know how to properly do that. But that's what I've been doing, and it has worked for quite a while, so I don't think it's wrong completely. But yeah, so let me show you the finished product. There she be! There's the chicken sausage, and it is so good. All right, peeps, we are done. That is how you make the homemade chicken sausage that is freaking delicious and super good for you. and low in calories, high in protein, and not high in fat. So that's the biggest difference between that and like regular sausage that you buy at the store. That is usually very, very fatty cuts of meat. And this is much leaner. It's the exact same as what boneless, skinless chicken breast is. So about 120 calories for 4 ounces and like 20 or 22 grams of protein. So yeah, I use it for, actually I eat at lunch, but it'd be great for really anything. Like I said, it's good cold. So it's really good to pack for like work and stuff, especially if you don't have a microwave like at your job. So you can just eat it cold right out of your lunchbox. And I am actually getting ready to put a couple ounces in a mushroom omelet I'm going to be making because I am eating my breakfast very late. I had a snack earlier. I had my snack earlier, but now I'm starving and I want a little bit of a more voluminous breakfast. So I'm going to take a couple ounces from a meal that's later in the day and have it now. But yes, chicken sausage, that is it. And if you guys are going to try it, please let me know in the comments. Say you're going to try it, and then let me know what you think. I would love to hear what you think because it's very good and I think you'll love it if you like sausage. If you don't, probably won't. But please hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out. Hit that like button. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace out, peeps. Video's done, guys, but I just want you to know my kitchen is not ideal for filming a recipe video. So that was some work. And sorry if all the angles are weird and sucky, but it's the best I could do. Okay.